Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Hijazi. I just wanted to welcome you to the class very quickly. This is, in my opinion, one of the most important classes for business major in information system as well. It's a little bit confusing to the type of the question that you're going to be doing in quizzes, I'm sorry, and tests, but I'm going to go ahead and first of all, show you how to go about registering for the book. You don't need a physical book. You already got this, I think, in your receipt for the classes. So once you go to, for example, to the syllabus that I send you, you need to copy this one here. Okay, click on it and click the right button here and copy. And close that. This is your syllabus, as you notice. I'm going to go to one of the tab here, and I'm going to link that URL, that universal, or we call it uniform resource locator, meaning a fancy way of referring to a web address. And here it is. So when I click on it as a student now, not as a professor, it's going to ask me put your email. Of course, it recognized my email as a professor. I'm not going to put anything here. But once you get into this, you're going to continue and going to register for the class, so you'll be able to access it directly. If you need any help, just contact customer service. I don't think you will be needing that help, but in case you need this, you could contact even the bookstore if you need to. All right, so this is how to start with the class to access this. See, let me go ahead and show you what you will be accessing. So you're going to go to, once you get into there, of course, I need to change the view from instructor to a student's view. So this is what you will be seeing yourself. As you notice, you could go directly to the book, and which you should, and you read. Okay, so you read, this is electronic book that you already paid for. And you go to chapter 1. Of course, you could go to the list of, see, I was reading chapter 1 here earlier, so I'm here. But if you wanted to go to other chapters, of course, you will be able to go one page at a time or chapter at a time. That's completely up to you. Of course, every week we have a lot to do, so you'll be able to know based on the date or the due dates. So let's go ahead and show you here as a student. You're going to start for chapter 1 after you access. The syllabus is available for you here now. I uploaded it. The chapter 1, you're going to find 4 items for every chapter. Okay. Chapter 1 is going to introduce you to the material in the book. And I'll let that open through the whole semester. You know, I don't worry about the earlier date because this is from last year, so it's no big deal. But it's what is really more important, it's going to be closed at the December 20th, 2024. It will be done by the class at that time. So we have, you're going to read this, and there is you must read it, in my opinion, and you need to really make sure that you skim it through it and stop at a certain type of points that you really wanted to emphasize. Anyway, so this is also the application, chapter application exercise, which you should do, and it's open through the whole term, and you could do it as many times as you want. Also, the chapter 1 test bank, you could open it through the whole term, and you could do it as many times as you want in order to do well in the quiz for this chapter and later for the exam that is going to combine multiple chapters together. So if you notice, quiz 1, it's different from the previous 3. It's going to be due in certain date, which is September 5th, and will close by that date. So if you don't complete it within the date, you have 25 minutes to complete it. Every quiz has maybe 25 minutes. Test usually 75 minutes, and the final will be 3 hours. But anyway, to complete that on that date, you must choose that specific time during the day in order to complete it. But you would not take the quiz until you read this, practice with the test bank, practice with the application exercise, and of course read the chapter. And this is going to do for the same exact things you're going to do for chapter 1 and 2 and 3. See that? Again, the chapter is open for the whole term. Application exercise to get you really to do very well in the quizzes and the tests, and the test bank just also to get you the practices that you need and in order to do again very well in quiz 3. So if you do that, if you don't do this and you don't do this, you're gonna get 0 in this because you're not gonna be able to do too much. I mean, you will be able to get some true because the true and false guessing is part of it. Anyway, once you finish those 3 chapters, and there will be a date, which is September 23rd for the first test, that you will also have to find an hour sometimes in order to take it within that day. If you miss that day, God forbid you don't have really a serious emergency, then I'm not going to be able to give you or reopen that reopen the test for you again. So this is basically would make a lot easier for you to see it instead of me sending you an email and trying to figure out what you need to do. Remember, every chapter has 4 items: the smart book for each chapter, application exercise for each chapter, and the test bank. Those are open for the whole term, because maybe when you do want it to go to the test, you have to refer back to them. When you read, if you always wanted to go hit back in the final, if you really wanted to go back to some of the earlier material, those will be open. Only the testing material will be open within 1 day, quizzes and tests. Of course, we're not going to talk about the project, which I'm going to be sending you a lot of information about it, which is going to be due the last 3 not classes. We don't have regular classes, but that's why I would like to end up the whole class by the test 4 is going to be ended up by the November the 18th. You will see the the date associated with that test, which is test 4 here, for example. So I'll show you that is December 14 is the final test. Okay, that's not something else other than the test. November 18 is the last.